With the well-known detrimental environmental impact of traditional crude oil-based plastics, people have developed various substitutes to this. One such bioplastic is the one made from the waste products of the avocado fruit, namely the seed and the skin. Today, I'll be looking into a Business Insider video covering a Mexican company that exactly does that. Hope you enjoy.
We just can't
Avocado is every white woman's favorite breakfast item.
seem to get enough guac. Last year, Americans consumed more than 6 billion avocados. And that produces a lot of inedible waste.
Yeah, talking about avocados, the name avocado is actually based on the word avocado, which means testicles in the native Aztec tongue, which is kind of interesting because you're basically eating balls.
Now, a company has developed a process to transform avocado pits into plastic. Bioplastics like these could help reduce pollution.
And that's good. It's a really good idea. Never really thought of turning organic waste into plastic, but theoretically speaking, yeah, it could be done.
Because they break down faster and use less fossil fuels. But how they're made and disposed of determines if they really are a cleaner alternative. We visited Biofase in Monterrey, Mexico to see how it all works. Mexico exports about half of the world's avocados.
That makes sense since they're the biggest producer of avocados and that's the country where it originated from.
A single worker at this plantation in Michoacan can cut over 800 pounds of the fruit per day. Many of these avocados will be shipped whole, but some are pitted and processed locally. This factory produces ready-to-eat guacamole and salsa.
Yeah, to be honest, I never really liked guacamole. Kinda tasted bland, to be honest. But then again, I am Indian, so my taste buds are built differently.
They tried composting the avocado scraps, but it didn't work.
Yeah, if anyone's ever handled the whole avocado and cut it up, you'll notice that the skin is like thick leather. It's pretty hard to find any uses for it per se.
Avocado pits contain oils that made the process complicated. So now they sell their seeds to Biofase. Bioplastics are what we call products that are mostly made of biological substances instead of petroleum. The process starts with avocado seeds.
And I think the chemical structure is quite similar. If my college grade chemistry classes were, if I remember my college grade chemistry classes accurately, I guess that the composition is similar.
That have been washed at the supplying factory.
Nuestro siguiente paso es que la semilla del aguacate entra a nuestro proceso patentado mediante el que nosotros generamos el bioplástico con el que fabricamos todos nuestros productos.
As the seed is going through the machine, it's turned into a bioplastic resin that's ready to withstand a lot of heat.
And this is the most important process, which I have to look into, but I don't think this video is going to explain that. Given that it's only like about 5 minutes long, it's almost 2 minutes are up.
Heat. What comes out the other end is a malleable sheet that can be molded and cut into different shapes.
Esta lámina va a pasar en el futuro a un proceso que se llama termoformado, donde esta lámina le vamos a dar una forma, le vamos a recortar y vamos a poder generar productos como contenedores de alimentos, platos, tapas de café, en fin, la imaginación es el límite.
Same as plastic. The maximum limit is your imagination.
Studies have shown that bioplastics are an improvement over traditional plastics. It takes less fossil fuels to produce them, they contain fewer toxic chemicals, and they decompose faster. The technology to make these products has improved over the past few years and has grown to a nearly $20 billion industry.
To be honest, I expected it to be bigger, but it's still a milestone.
That's about the same size as the rapidly growing plant-based meat industry. Biofase is part of that trend. The company launched 8 years ago with a single facility. Today, it has 3 locations across Mexico. But there are issues. Bioplastics require special industrial facilities to properly compost.
Yeah, the initial investment is pretty high, I guess.
and they can contaminate the regular recycling stream. They're also more expensive than regular plastic, which is made of available petroleum.
There are two reasons. Because first of all, crude oil is quite cheap right now. And secondly, the production capacity for bioplastics is much lower.
And that's because the crude oil industry has been there for considerably longer than the bioplastic industry. However, in the long run, I think bioplastic has the potential to become much cheaper.
While for fossil-based plastic, it's much bigger.
It's basically economics of scale.
So they have an economy of scale in terms
As I said.
of production.
Biofase produces about 130 tons of bioplastics each month. That's equivalent to the conventional plastic waste produced by 13,000 Americans. It's a modest output for now,
Or it's just that Americans tend to have a lot of plastic waste, I guess.
but Biofase products are shipped across Mexico, the UK, and other countries in Europe. And the company recently expanded to Australia.
And that's good. I think this company deserves it.
But there's a long way to go.
Bioplastics, I think, is probably a little bit less than 1% of the fossil-based
And that's true.
plastics.
For now, they are mostly used in restaurants. But the idea that biodegradables can be thrown into nature and will eventually go away is false.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up that point.
It can take up to a year for bioplastics to break down in natural conditions.
Yeah, but compared to, let's say, more traditional forms of plastic, which takes a couple of centuries at least, this is much better.
That's still plenty of time to clog waterways or harm animal habitats.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, that's much shorter than conventional plastic items, some of which will stick around
Oh yeah, as I said, a traditional water bottle takes about 450 years. A milk carton takes 3 months. Yeah, that's a lot.
for hundreds of years. Bioplastics can replace some traditional plastics. So far, that's only been tried on a small scale. But thanks to Biofase, we may be one avocado
Yeah, the thing is, everything starts off at a small scale and then expands. You just need to give it some time.
toast away from a cleaner planet.
Well, that really was a mouthful of avocados, wasn't it? Ugh, sorry about the bad joke. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, how about you give a like? Also, if you want to watch more like this, think about subscribing. Anyway, thank you and have a nice day.